Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing multiplication and division of fractions. So the first sum is x squared minus 5x plus 6 divided by 2x minus 6. Before you start these sums, you need to know how to factorize. So let's begin. We're going to start with our numerator, and here we have x squared. So we know that we're going to have x times x. And here we have 6. So we're going to write out our factors of 6. Our factors of 6 are 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. Now, if you have a plus here, it means that when we look at our factors, when we add our factors together, we should get 5. So the first one is 1 plus 6, and 1 plus 6 is 7, so we eliminate that one. And here we have 2 plus 3, which would give me 5, and 2 times 3 is 6 to give me my third term. So we're going to have 2 and 3 here. Now remember that if we have plus 6 here, it means that we have to have either a positive and a positive, because a positive times a positive will give me a positive, or a negative times a negative. Now, because we have negative 5x here, we know that both would be negative, because a negative times a negative will give me a positive, and minus 3x minus 2x would give me minus 5x. Let's look at our denominator, 2x minus 6. Our common factor here is 2, and we're going to get left with x minus 3. So we take out 2, and we'll say 2 times what will give me 2x? 2 times x. 2 times what would give me 6, and it would be a 3. But it's minus, so therefore minus, minus. Then we look at what can clearly cancel out here. We can see that x minus 3 will go into x minus 3. And so we are left with x minus 2 above over 2. Now, the common mistake we sometimes pick up is that some people cancel the 2. That is not allowed. When you have a minus or a plus here, you're not allowed to cancel. So this is your final answer. Okay, let's look at another example. Okay, number 2, we have x squared minus 9 divided by 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. So let's look at the top part. Now here we're going to have our difference of two squares. Basically you look at x squared and you look at 9. Can I find the square root of x squared? Yes, the square root of x squared is x. So here we'll have x and x. The square root of 9 is 3. We're going to have 3 and 3. And one will be a positive and one will be a negative. Okay, now we look at our denominator. So we've got 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. So we definitely know that for the 2x squared part, you can only have a factor of 2 times 1. So it has to be 2 times 1, which is 2x times 1x. Then we have a 3 here. Now the 3 can only be 1 times 3. Now the main thing here is you can work this out by trial and error. So you could put 1 times 3, and then you could try 3 times 1 and test your middle term. I'm going to try 1 times 3 first to see if it works. Now to test your middle term, you're going to go 2x times 3 would give me 6x. 1 times x would give me 1x. I haven't put in the signs just yet, because I'm going to my middle term and I'm going to say my middle term, the answer there should be negative 5x. So if the answer is negative 5x, the negative should go with the bigger number and the positive would go with the smaller number. So here 2x times 3 would give me 6, so we need to put the negative here and the positive there. Now we are allowed to, we'll check to see are there any similar factors. Yes, there are. So we're going to cancel x minus 3 with x minus 3. What am I left with? Okay, in my numerator, I'm left with x plus 3, and with my denominator, I'm left with 2x plus 1. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Okay, number 3, there we go. Here we have x squared plus x minus 6 divided by 2x minus 8 times x squared minus 16 divided by x squared minus 2x. So we take each one at a time, and we're going to factorize. So I'm going to start off with my numerator here. So here we're going to have x times x, and because I have a negative here, I know that my factors are going to be 1 times 6 as well as 2 times 3. But if I have a negative, what I do here is I subtract my factors. So 6 minus 1 will give me 5, and my middle term is not 5, it's 1. 3 minus 2 will give me 1, so definitely these are going to be my factors. So I'm going to use 2 and 3 here. But I look at my middle terms are positive, so the positive would go with the bigger number, and the negative with the smaller number. Looking at my denominator, my common factor here is 2. I'll take out the 2. 2 times what will give me 2x times x. 2 times what would give me 8, and it is minus 4. Times, here I have x squared minus 16. And because I can find the square root of x squared and I can find the square root of 16, I'm going to go, this is dots out, difference of 2 squares. So here we're going to have x and x. The square root of 16 is 4, 4 and 4, and we'll have a plus and a minus. In my denominator, I have x squared minus 2x. My common factor is x, and I'm going to get left with x minus 2. So x times x, x squared, x times negative 2, negative 2x. Now we are allowed to cancel our like factors. So here we have x minus 2 and x minus 2, x minus 4 and x minus 4. So looking at my numerator, I'm left with x plus 3 over x plus 4, x plus 3 times x plus 4 over 2, and here we have an x, 2 and x there. So this is my final answer, and I'll leave it like that. Let's have a look at number 4. Number 4, we have 2k squared plus k minus 6 in my numerator. We're going to factorize that. So when I factorize that, I'm going to have 2k times k, and then I have 6 here. So I need to get left with 1 in the middle. So I'm going to do trial and error. So I'm going to try, let's see, if we go 2 and 3, and we multiply these out, I'm going to get 2k times 3 would give me 6k, and 2 times k would give me 2k, and I want my answer to be, I want it to be k, and I can see that this is not going to work, right? So then we can do it the other way around. We're going to go 3 times 2 this time. Okay, let's see what happens. We're going to do 3 times 2 here. And when we work out 3 times 2, we're going to multiply it out. Let's see. 2k times 4 will give me, 3 times 2. I wrote 4 there. Sorry, let's just fix that. 3 times 2. Okay, so 2k times 2 would give me 4k, and 3 times k would give me 3k. And I want to end up with 1k. So therefore, the smaller number will have the negative and the bigger number will have the positive. So 2k times 2 would give me 4k, so therefore plus and minus. Let's look at our denominator. Our denominator, my common factor is 2, and I'm going to get left with k minus 3 times, here I have difference of 2 squares, so this is going to be k squared minus 4 and k squared plus 4. And in my denominator, I'm going to have k plus 2. Now here I have a division, so that's over 1, so that's divided by 2k over 1. So when you have a division, you're going to multiply an inverse. So it's going to become 1 over 2k minus 3. Now we're going to look at, do I have similar factors that I can cancel? Let's have a look. Here I'm going to have 2k minus 3 will cancel out with 2k minus 3. K plus 2 will cancel out with k plus 2. And in my numerator, I'm going to get left with k squared minus 4 over, times k squared plus 4, and it will be over 2k minus 3. Now, k squared minus 4 can be factorized further, so we're going to write it as k minus 2, k plus 2, times k squared plus 4 over 2k minus 3. And that's how we'd leave our answer. Let's have a look at the next sum. So the next sum is 14 minus 7x, which can be factorized further. But before we do this, we're going to look at the fact that this is minus. The x here is minus. So we're going to do what we call a change of sign. So we're going to take out the negative in the numerator, negative 7, and we're going to get left with x minus 2. Okay, so if you want me to explain that, it's basically this. We're going to take out the negative here. I'll start off with the negative. And if you take out a negative, you're going to go negative times what will give me a negative, a positive 7x. A negative times what will give me a positive, a negative 14. And then in the next step, we're going to take out our common factor of 7, and we're going to get left with x minus 2. Okay, and then our numerator, we will have x and x. And we can only have 2 times 1 because it's only 2 times 1 that can give you 2. And so because my middle term is a positive, I'm going to have a positive with the bigger number, negative with the smaller number, times x plus 3 over, and my denominator here, my common factor is going to be 3, and I'm going to get left with x minus 2. And so here we are allowed to cancel our like factors, and it's x minus 2, x minus 2. And if we look further, we see that there aren't any other factors that we can cancel. So this would remain negative 7 x plus 3 over 3, our numerical value first, x plus 2, x minus 1. I hope you found this video useful. Please like and subscribe, and follow me in my next video.